Hello and welcome to the Comedy Workshop. I'm
Yes.
your host, Jester Lind. Tonight on the Comedy Workshop, we've got myself, we've got Elmer, we've got Maddie's Way Comedy coming at us from Texas, we've got Mo coming at us from California, we got Keh Dee coming at us from Niagara Falls, and we've got Brooklyn at Mind Artists on Instagram. The way it works here in the Comedy Workshop is we've all been given a randomly assigned topic, and we write, 3 to 5 minutes or whatever we can on that topic. And then we open up the floor to all of the lovely comedians here on our panel. It's basically one of the only open mics where all of the hecklers get equal time. But the way we treat it is we're all just hanging out in the booth at the back of the club like we used to in the before 4 times before the long now. So starting out with me, my random topic for tonight's workshop is progress. Now, we are going through a period of trying some new stuff out. We miss you already, Scott, and we're shaking things up. And so my topic was assigned to me by myself, 20 minutes again. So far, progress, that's not a whole lot. So what is progress? People talk about progress a lot in politics. Some people get really mad about progress in politics. What it is generally things getting better, but some things are going really well for some people. The whole concept of what progressive politics was actually, there was an era called the progressive era of American politics, and it was the era immediately following the Gilded Age. Now, whenever something goes from covered in gold to this is getting better, you know that there was some fucked up shit going behind the scenes. And that's what the progressive agenda was trying to focus on. I don't know if any of you took AP history or if you've heard of the term muckrakers, but muckrakers, and we're still at this point in America, we're talking about the early 1900s. So there's a lot of muck that need raking. Muckrakers were the journalists who would expose corruption, and they would expose the awful working conditions and write books that make you want to vomit like The Jungle. And their agenda was greatly helped along with the invention of photography. Now, you see, a photo says 1,000 words, and saying 1,000 words is really useful when everyone in the area can only read about 850 words. So, you know what? That's all the material on progress I've made in the last 20 minutes. But I hope that the moral arc of comedy is long, and so I'll just hang in there for a little bit longer. What are some progressive targets that I missed, you guys? What I miss? What's super progressive right now? Oh, evolution, is that still progressive in some places?
I think so.
Okay.
The Taliban is progressing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they sure are, aren't they?
Hottest political movement since Barack Obama.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
I think it might be nice to talk about how I like hearing about people's lives. So maybe a way that you progressed in your life, but kind of in a comedic way. Because I actually just wrote about this for my next workshop's topic. I think I said something about like, I'm like the great value brand of blah, 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 progress, not perfection, type of thing. So how you've progressed in your life, but you know what I mean? Like that people can find relatable because you're talking about your own life. So I'm thinking going into your life experience and how you've progressed and then finding a way to either add a shock value where they don't see something coming or whatever. That could be interesting.
I might have made a lot more progress today, but I was actually out canvassing for the New Democratic Party of Canada, the most progressive party here in Canada. So I didn't make enough progress. And in fact, one of the reasons I support them is because of just their reputation on workers' rights. And yes, I'm volunteering right now. So I don't know if that's personal progress on workers getting more pay, but hell, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of ludicrous and absurd things going on in the political world right now. Endless commentary that could be made. It seemed like you were kind of going for the Trevor Noah news intelligent commentary angle. Is that correct? Or
a little bit. A lot of my stuff is just history lessons with jokes.
Yeah. So it maybe even more references to like, prior eras like Genghis Khan or, World War I, World War II to kind of tie it all together and make it, make the history buffs like laugh a little bit. Some really neat little tidbits would be thrown in there and compared to current times,
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Your mock breakers thing was pretty cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think muckraker is just such a great word.
Yeah.
I think it's just such a great word.
And then you can add I don't give a muck. Some little wordplay, to just spice it up a little bit.
I like that.
Yeah.
And anytime you can make a history related pun, I give you all that.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to say is that that sort of style that Mo was talking about, normally what I've noticed with that is that they will start with a word and then they will define it as something that's supposed to make you laugh. Like the thing that came to me was progress, Apple updates that your grandmother hates.
Right, yeah.
And maybe even a commentary, like I could give you this. Every time I watch like a historical documentary, I always think to myself, how would have things been different if everybody had cell phones?
Yeah.
So maybe a little tie-in with some pop culture will keep the young people engaged.
Maybe a bit of technological progress as well.
The youth, yeah, you got to appeal to the youth progress, a little too,
Yeah,
because if you don't have the youth, we're screwed.
I just imagine like you said that, and I went to like Franz Ferdinand on like what the fuck? What's that website called? God damn it! Where everybody shows everybody getting knocked out.
Oh, World Star.
World Star.
World Star references, TikTok references, all of that. Yeah. You got to throw that in there to keep it spicy for them.
For sure.
Good stuff, though. I like it.
I don't know if I missed something here. Like, well, I cut out there. Sorry, but like how music has progressed. It's like gotten so much worse over time. It's almost like it's gone like backwards into time. We're like cavemen, like all over again. It's like, oh, fire me, what? Beat. Like it's fucking awful.
That actually sounds like it's about to be a track that's dropped.
Right? I know. I'm dropping it tomorrow, Eleanor.
Yeah.
There's the whole progressive rock genre.
Yes,
there's a whole genre called prog rock.
Prog rock, right?
Yeah,
and I was
prog
like,
rock.
where
they tried to take rock into the future by taking it to the 1600s.
Yeah.
Added some symphonies and shit in there.
Yeah, it's prog rock now. It's just regressing.
Yeah, the prog rockers weren't the only rock and roll people going into a fugue state, to be fair. All right. Next up, live tonight on the Comedy Workshop, please welcome to the larger rectangle, it's Elner.
All right.
Hello. So my word for today was Boston. I didn't think too much about the city because I've never been there, but what Boston took me is to this rock band from the 70s and 80s, Boston, and particularly this one song that they had, More Than a Feeling. I don't know if you're familiar with this. You all look too young to know this. And so was I. But my martial arts teacher growing up, this was his favorite song. So we would get severely beaten up to him, like gently humming, like, more than a feeling. Meanwhile, you're getting punched in the face. You're getting kicked in the teeth. You're getting punched in the throat. And all the time, this guy's gently singing, like, and humming too, like, more than a feeling. And like you're losing like limbs almost. You're getting fucked up to a soundtrack, which is horrific. It was terrible. This guy used to be like an ex-gunner. Like I'm talking, he had to carry like Rambo's gun up mountains in real life, not just between like takes when the camera says action, like the fucking whole wars and stuff. And this guy would be fucking you up and gently singing. So what happens was, you get some injuries, in the throat, in the teeth. You get busted lips really, really often. And your friends remind you that you have a busted lip by constantly making fun of you. And a side effect of having a busted tooth and face in general, outside of the fact that you're not really hungry anymore because you can't eat anything because your teeth don't work right. So when you have a busted lip, it's hard to laugh. So, you do laugh about stuff, but basically what happens is this: you start laughing and you're like, oh. So obviously this is hilarious to all of your friends. So they keep trying to make you laugh all the time. So they would bring up the fact that you just got fucked up by your teacher at the most inappropriate times to make you laugh. Like in the middle of class, which is obvious, at the Holocaust Museum, or even mid-pee at the urinals. So you'd be like, oh, let me stop holding what I need to be holding right now and attend to my face that's about to be busted open again. So this was a lot of fun growing up and getting beaten up to this. And obviously the friends got like evolved with time, so they decided to like make their own remixes to this and stuff. Having their own lyrical versions, because they thought more than a feeling is not enough. Of course, it gave me more than a feeling. It gave me like some pains and damages and maybe a trip to the dentist or two. But their soundtracks, their versions also had like PG versions, like Now You Have No Teeth. And I'm just not even gonna go over the next ones. But it gives you a different perspective on classic rock. It makes you really appreciate the old songs. And for those of you who are actually know the song, at some point I really wish Marion would just come back and all that shit wouldn't have angered the person that was beating on me. Good times. That's it. The end part was the indicator to see who actually knows the song. Nobody does.
Oh, I'm an
And
old
you
soul.
see your whole crowd walk away.
Exactly. I see
don't
my
know the
Marion
lyrics.
walking away.
Yeah.
I can hum it maybe.
Sorry, Elner.
Yes. Good.
You could be like,
That's all I
that
had.
song ruined Boston for me.
I know.
That's a good song.
Yeah, apparently it was like away from their like genre or something.
Yeah, it was more than a feeling. It was PTSD.
Hello.
I did think about how you've never been there, but it might be funny for you to talk about what you think it would be like there. Like walking past the street, like, yo, bro, you got a problem? Or like how you think they would react to certain situations and make it like outlandish. And then there was I liked it, and I thought there were so many opportunities where it could go into a little bit more detail. Like I think you mentioned about getting beat up like in the urinal or something, right?
No, I was talking about them making fun of me and making me like kind of, because I actually had to like close my lip so it doesn't, like, I'm laughing, so if I start smiling at the time I would have to close my lip because it would start bleeding.
But did you mention something about the urinal, or am I making that up?
Yeah, I'd be at the urinal, and normally
right.
at the
And I
urinal,
was thinking that's a good chance to go into detail and be like, have you ever tried to stop laughing while holding your dick, or like whatever, like just go into detail about something that going more into that, and you could find something really funny there.
Drinking salty drinks. Maybe.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Or hot, spicy food. Oh, that was...
nothing more refreshing than a salty drink.
I think I repressed those memories.
On a hot day.
Yeah. Nice salty
visualize
milk.
that pain, that burn.
We actually wrote our own song afterward. He went like this, pain, but that was besides the point. Maybe I should add that in there. Had no other lyric at all.
Imagine like you're getting pummeled and you're focusing more on what song is on. It's like, fuck, it's not this song. Like, depending on the song, it's actually kind of awesome to get shit kicked out of you. Like, Welcome to the Jungle? Shit, yeah.
Welcome to the jungle. Yeah, smack that, not so much.
I think I've heard getting punched in the face is a very Boston thing to do. So
I too studied martial arts when I was younger, and I quit because you go in with the idea that it's like the movies, and then you find out you just get punched a lot by everybody in the class, and you have to practice stuff that really isn't helping you to kick anybody's ass. Like the bullies that used to bully you, it really doesn't help. So I gave it up early, and just got a baseball bat and didn't hit anybody with it. But yeah, martial arts can be funny if you go into that whole pupil teacher relationship and really delve into what you didn't like about it and how it's not like the movies do.
that's also a mellow as fuck ballad to lay down in a dojo. Like that's not like the shit that I would expect. Yeah, like every other time you walk into some place, it's just like it's like the Mortal Kombat remix,
yes,
like jump jams, like some pump you up shit. Yeah. The Limp Bizkit version of the Mission Impossible theme song.
Yes, exactly. That's like everything I have on my soundtrack right now on my playlist. But at the time,
how'd you get into my iPod?
Yeah, it's exactly literally every single thing you said. So, but the I was trying to convey that contrast because he did like gently hum that.
Yeah,
and be like devastating.
Yeah, it's like playing the sound of silence over the sound of breaking bones.
Or the sound of music.
Yeah.
Just
Eye of the Tiger or something, make it a little more appropriate, right?
The Tiger.
Yes,
that's a classic.
Yes. Actually, I'll incorporate that. You would think it would be something like that. Good. Mm-hmm. Eye of the Tiger is good because it's also same period, same rock, like very, almost everything's the same. Yeah, cool. Mm-hmm. I'm just picking
Excellent. Oh no, that Rocky was Philadelphia, not Boston.
I'm so terrible at the map. Probably I don't know if it's close.
Oh,
thanks for your notes, guys. It's cool.
No worries.
Man. So, in Philadelphia, at the top of the steps, they have the statue of like a statue of Rocky going like whatever after he runs up the steps, and it's like that's a fictional. He's like a fictional boxer, right? Fucking Joe Frazier is from Philly. Like he's a real dude, real like legit like title boxer, and like I don't know.
I like that one, Jester. That's something to expand upon. That's Rocky versus Joe Frazier. Like the way you said it just now, that was good. That was gold.
But that's Philly and not Boston. But I still do like Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Maddie, can you hear us? Are you with us? You ready to go, man?
Yeah, if you can hear me.
Yep.
Yeah, we can.
Awesome.
Please welcome to the large rectangle. It's Maddie's Way Comedy.
Thank you. I'm hoping you guys can hear me well because my topic was pale. Which I took offense to. I don't know anything. Like I looked up pale, and it only talked about skin. Like they said whitish so many times. I thought I was talking to an executive at ABC. It's a show, Blackish, but whatever. So. Man, I don't have any experience with this stuff. It's like I got this word from Tara. I'm just like, okay, I can't write anything unless it was just gonna look like a manifesto with misspellings. Like I am so dumb. I don't know anything. Like, I talked to my girlfriend's black. Sorry, I'm not sure. I don't even have that part written down. It's fine. Fuck it. So, I just talked to her, and she has this like encyclopedia of pain that her people went through, and it's just like, my life's fine. I thought everything was fine. And like, I don't know. That's not even a joke. I'm not good at riffing. See, this is what happens when you make a white person talk about race. Things just get real sad real quick. I don't know. I mean, I looked at Pale. It was just all sad shit. It was like, I saw like a bunch of communities that were just gatewayed as like, it was the Pale. You shouldn't go here. I saw like a lot of racist shit. I saw a lot of Irish bands. It was terrible. Irish bands. They're terrible. I don't know. I just need more exposure to sunlight and cultural. But it's just like, yesterday I did actually the widest thing you could probably do. Some guy asked me to go to his church, and I was like, okay, I'm fine with getting murdered, maybe. And this, I can't describe this. This actually happened yesterday, like not even 24 hours ago. I went somewhere with a Christian rock band, and a older guy that had to explain, I'm not gay bashing! Like, okay, if we're gonna talk about God and gay people, can we at least have music we can dance to? Like, holy shit. We were just like, there was a bunch of mostly blonde-haired, blue-eyed people just like, I guess they're reaching out to God or the past fourth Reich or whatever the fuck it is. I can't say it. I don't know German history. But yeah, that's really all I got on that.
As the only officially black person I can tell in the room, I'm not sure. No advanced commentary. I thought you were definitely onto something, and I didn't feel offended in the least.
Thank you.
I think that if you're gonna go blue, you gotta really just commit to it and like go like Lewis Black and just be really, really straight about your delivery and be ready to have some tomatoes thrown at you by people who are not understanding of being blue, but at the same time, if you creatively commit to it, you can really do some resonating expansion on what you were bringing up. I think you're on mute, Jester. Yeah.
If you're gonna go blue, you're really gonna want to go beyond the pale.
Just dive in head first, man. Just, but be careful.
About that.
Study the greats like Patrice O'Neill. Talked about a lot of issues. He skirted pissing off people a lot, but at the same time, his confident delivery is what made him somebody who people couldn't easily attack.
Be the truth.
Your word was pale, right?
Yes, it was.
Cool. So I have a couple of tag kind of things for you. So Irish band sucks, especially Bono. I think it's Irish. I'm not 100% sure, but I really don't like Bono. So there. You said something about the whitest thing you can do. I was gonna suggest that the whitest thing you can do is a tarp jacuzzi in the back of a Ford F-150. I don't know if you are familiar.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
A tarp. The whitest thing you can do is a tarp jacuzzi in the back of a Ford F-150.
Tarp jacuzzi. Oh,
Tarp
okay.
jacuzzi. You put like a tarp on, you fill it up with water, then you drive around.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like have a jacuzzi in the back of your pickup truck.
But the pickup truck has to have 2 wheels on the rear of it.
Yeah, they don't have to match though. They don't have to match.
Or a wide axle. Wide axle.
Yeah, a wide.
Yeah.
Significant.
That really
The
appeals to
side-
me, so I think you're onto something.
The side of the tub just says "All lives matter."
Well, I don't know. Let it age a little bit, and then
Yeah, more
Yeah.
Confederate
Yeah.
flag.
As the
Yeah.
black spokesperson, just be careful. On the all
Yeah.
I wrote down a few things. One thing is, the first thing I thought of was like, I'm so pale, I basically came out the womb with a 401k. That's the first thing I thought of when I heard the word pale. And another thing I thought you could work on is, like, a thought I had was, because I heard you say I saw a bunch of racist shit. And then I thought it would be really funny if you said, oh, like one time, and then you said something that actually really wasn't racist. It was just like mean or something, or just like you think it's going one way, but you take it another way. Like, oh, I saw a bunch of racist shit. And then you tell a story and it's like, no, that's not racist. That's just, or whatever, just like the shock factor. So yeah, those are a couple things I thought of.
Yeah, like I saw those cats chase these dogs.
One time I looked up somebody and their name was Slappy White.
What?
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I would have laughed at that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love pun names. I love, there's
Every other
really
white person named pales in comparison.
Yeah, I she my drawers is an alias I use all the time. AIZASHETMIDRUORZ. Like wordplay. Like when you say pale too, you can even play with the word garbage pail. Pale. You can say, where did that word come from? Like, is it like a garbage pail? Is it like,
Yeah, that's more the
You know-
side direction of like asking
People
questions like,
expand their
where
mind.
did the pail come from? Was it a Was it a
Break it
bucket
down.
of a pail?
Exactly.
I had another thing for you because you said there was like you went to church and there was like a priest there or something like about not gay bashing, but also not conversion therapy. Because there was just graphic dancing and stuff. You said something about Christian rock. I don't know if you know this, but Post Malone started off as like a Christian rock artist. Then it didn't sell, so he went the other way. I think so.
Threw some tattoos
You
on his face
reverted.
and called it a day.
He
So-
reverted so fast, he lost faith in
Are,
God.
are you talking about pre-Malone?
Yep.
And Nickelback too was a Christian band, right? Originally.
Aren't
Was
they
it?
still?
Might have been.
I think they sold their souls to the devil eventually, but
They did. I heard they were like pretty rowdy alcoholics, just from
yeah.
Edmonton venue people. Oh, and I used to work with one of his cousins, with Chad Crozier's cousins.
Okay.
I heard they all just wanted to be big rock stars and live in
Yeah.
top boxes and drive 15 cars.
Took a bunch of photographs.
You are going to hell, Jester.
Shut up.
Oh no, more religion jokes. I love religion jokes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Make fun of more religion. Like, oh, I don't know what happened. Last thing I remember, Jesus was just turning my water into wine, and I woke up and he was like, "I'm filling you with the Holy Spirit." Shit like that. Love it.
You could go with him
You
being
know,
pale in the
actually-
Middle East too.
Oh no.
No.
I mean, I
It was like,
personally
no.
am avoiding religion like wildfire right now because the way the Taliban swept over Afghanistan, I'm pretty sure that I'd offend the wrong people, and I would definitely not be popular in Afghanistan.
Aren't we all in
That was a
California
thing.
or Ontario or Texas? So aren't we all dodging wildfire like
Oh, I'm in
wildfire?
Washington D.C. I'm not in Cali.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
in the
I'm in the political
Yeah,
midst of it all.
Yeah.
they're in the middle.
I had rednecks at the Airbnb next door. I'm deep in that shit.
Wait, I had an idea.
What were you gonna say, bro?
Go ahead.
You did have an idea, yeah.
Is there's all these ideas of like, what color skin did Jesus have? I know like Jesus was mentioned before, and maybe you could say if Jesus was pale, he would act like this. If Jesus wasn't, he would act like that. It was just kind of an idea that came to my mind that I thought could be really funny to play with, like the things he would say depending on what shade Jesus was. It would be something really fun.
Ain't no white people in the Bible.
Yeah,
that would be so fun.
It's like if Jesus was white, he would be really afraid of crowds. Having a society.
Jesus was Asian. Jesus was black. Everything. Just go by like.
Let's not go down that road. Let's just.
Let's get Jesus race thing. Let's see how that goes.
The whole story of Jesus touching the leper, like you could adapt that to Jesus hanging out with some people with COVID.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah. Touching the leper. I don't think Jesus would have wore a mask.
There you go. Would he get the vaccine? Who knows?
He was going visiting them colonies, breaking all kinds of quarantine procedure.
Exactly. He just walks in the room like, everybody freaks out.
I don't remember any old people in the story.
I don't know. I think his stance was generally anti-plague, though. Also, I don't know. I wondered about that.
He could cure people after the fact, but whether he would be a potential spreader is the debate.
Oh, yeah.
Can he transmit?
Yeah.
I mean, God bless him, of course. But
you have, Moses, who was the OG like super spreader and like spread all the shit. He spread like all the plague.
Yeah.
Like, he'd visit all the sick people every time they'd sneeze. He'd say, "Me bless you."
Yeah.
I'm just trying not to get struck by lightning, so I won't delve further into it yet. But
Judas was. It wasn't 32. Well, it wasn't 32 silver. It was a COVID shot. Something like that. I don't know.
He comes out of the cave. He comes out of quarantine.
It was the NBA bubble.
The 3-day quarantine. He just flew by himself.
See, that's what people don't realize is they were all following like some sort of COVID procedure at the Last Supper, which is why they're all sitting on one side of the table.
And he's the guy that's breaking the bread, so if he has it, everybody has it. It's in the line, it's in the bread. You got problems,
Yeah, but I did have one thing about it. When I was actually journaling about it, because I journal, because I'm sad, they started the sermon by saying, like, convict the sinners, convict the Taliban of their actions. That was my introduction to this church. Along with, I'm not gay bashing. But we are losing God. And it has to do something with the LGBTQ movement. And these homosexuals.
But if you ever make it on TV, though, avoid religious jokes like the plague. You will attract the craziest people in the world who will persecute you and kill you. So just know that. TV
I'm fine with being murdered.
You'll be famous, maybe.
How do you know that's not what's on?
I don't want to be Daniel Thoreau famous. I'd rather, be, famous for the right reason. God bless him,
If I'm martyred, then maybe people will worship me. I think that's how it works.
Your family may be able to profit off of it, so just weigh the balance, weigh the balance. I guess.
Depends what religious system you pick on. Might get some benefits.
Yeah. You can pick on Buddhism, we won't stone you. We can't.
Yeah.
You can do it all you want.
It's like making fun of Canadians. We're just happy to be included.
There you go. Absolutely.
All right. Well, next up in the large rectangle, it's Mo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I prepared this freestyle long before this meeting. I had a lot of time And I'm actually sitting all the way back here because my head is actually huge. If I got really close to the camera, you all would be able to see how huge my brain is. It's where I process everything, you know. So I sit back just, you know, because I'm humble, right? Anyway, you know, this pandemic has been a strain on all of us, and I know, but I probably had it the hardest out of everybody in the world. You know, I had like some severe issues to where, you know, like a lot of people ripped me off. I didn't get any stimulus checks, and I quit my job because, you know, I was making a lot of money before for like 3 months, but then I quit my job. So I didn't qualify for stimulus, and I didn't have a job, and I quit. So I didn't qualify for unemployment. So that was awesome. But luckily I had some savings. I'm fortunate there. But the problem with the pandemic for me is that a lot of people turned to ripping me off. Like, you know, my dentist, for example. I went to my dentist and I had pretty good teeth. I don't have the straightest teeth in the world, but I had pretty good teeth. And I noticed he started telling me I had a cavity here and a cavity there after teeth cleaning. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? You know, like, my teeth were good before. My prior dentist said all of them were there and they were working. And now this guy's telling me they're breaking one after the other. So I went to another dentist just for a second opinion. By the time I did, that guy told me, well, you know, yeah, dentists sometimes they do things to your teeth to keep the money flowing. And that hit me up to how the pandemic works. Basically, people who want to save money, who have a business, charge a high price for everything. Next thing was my plumber. You know, my plumber, I had a toilet that broke in my house, and I hate when that shit happens. I mean, my toilet just stopped working. I called up a plumber. He comes over, he puts a new flapper in there and all of that, and screws the tank back together, and suddenly it's leaking. It's leaking all over the floor. So my toilet's out for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, what do I do? I'm calling all these plumbers, and everybody's busy, and everybody's rolling in the dough. And I just go out to Home Depot, and I buy a new toilet. I try to put it in myself, and it doesn't go so well, right? I'm not a Mr. Fix-It when it comes to plumbing and electrical. So I avoid that stuff like the plague. So I had to call another plumber. By the time I was done, I spent $1,000 to get a toilet installed. So there goes the savings, right? Then there's the next thing. You know, I am deciding to sell my current house and move to another house to live a simple life. A nice house in the suburbs with a yard and everything. So I said to myself, okay, I'll go and rent a house for a little bit and figure out whether I want to be here or Hawaii, for example. And I had it very hard making that decision, of course. I'm not a 1%er, but I have problems. So basically, my landlord, he was like, okay, well, you've got to fix anything if it breaks. You've got to fix it out of pocket. And I was like, how does that work? I'm renting. I shouldn't have to fix my own stuff. He was charging me out the wazoo. So if anything breaks in the house, I'm going to have to fix it. The refrigerator, you know, the toaster, whatever he provides to me, I got to fix it. That's okay for that. It's just another topic. So some people would call me a pessimist, and this is my last part. You know, and I always tell them, it's not bad to be a pessimist. A pessimist is the guy who saves our lives. The optimist wants to build a building that's 45 stories high. The pessimist comes in and says, what the fuck happens if there's an earthquake? You know what I'm saying? So when you get in that 45-story building and it shakes, but it doesn't collapse, it's because the pessimist said what happens if there's an earthquake. And that's how I like to remember my pessimism. Oh. Nice. It was a rant. I didn't.
Good job. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
It was all over the place.
It's all good. I mean, you just knew about this about.
So did your plumber seed a future plumbing problem? Is that kind of like what it seems like happened?
Oh, there were 4 plumbers involved by the time we got up to 1K. It was ridiculous.
To me, what that feels like is like, ever hear of something called an upper decker?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, like when you poop in the top of the toilet, and then when you flush the toilet, it's like this shit will be a problem later. that's
You're not
kind of
supposed
what.
to do that in your own toilet, though. You know, you
No,
gotta.
but I feel like the plumber like installed the toilet and then upper deckered you so that shit would become a problem later.
Upper
That's how
decker would be a good one to throw in there. I agree with you.
It's just a fun thing. It's just a
I
fun thing.
have a few things. One is Maddie muted because the whole time it was so hard for me to focus because I hear something's happening. Oh, so much better.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, so much better. Whew. Okay.
Poor
When
Maddie.
something happened.
Yeah, sorry, Maddie. It's
Oh,
so
the
much
whole
better
time
when
I was like,
we can't hear you. Oh my God.
The static noise. Okay. So a few things is that, like, I think the storytelling it was good. It could be a little bit more succinct though. Like, for example, you could have just said, I didn't qualify for a stimulus or unemployment. And I don't think you needed to really go into why you didn't. You could have just simplified it a little bit. And then you did say, like, I had to call a plumber, and I hate when that shit happens. And you totally could have just added a no pun intended, and then I think you could have gotten a couple laughs. So there's some parts of the storytelling where I think you just could have quickly did a little da-da-da and, gotten a few laughs that way. Yeah, and those were just some notes that I took, like, oh, I hate when that shit happens, no pun intended, or like, there's so many plumber jokes not to be like obvious about certain, like, you know what I mean. There's so many ways that could go.
Delivery, yeah.
There was a lot of good opportunities for poop jokes in a plumbing story,
Yes.
and the fact that there weren't any left me hanging like a dingleberry. Poop reference.
I will improve. I promise you. I will do better next time. I will commit seppuku if I don't.
Matt has raised his hand.
Yeah.
I will unmute now and then
an opportunity next time.
I will unmute now and then mute for a very long time. But so yeah, just to roast you a little bit. Your forehead's so big, it looks like you could pop the hood and there's a little person with levers in there.
Pretty much, yeah, basically.
Let me see.
That was it.
There was just a last one where, like, you said, the pessimist would be like, bro, no, there's a fucking earthquake, you idiots. And you'd be like, well, one of them says that. The rest just get the fuck out of there.
I wanted to hear what. I wanted to hear what was happening in the 2 weeks you didn't have a toilet. What was happening there with your situation?
I was shooting in nature. I went out to the alley in DC and hung out with the rats. I went dirt.
I want to know.
Yeah. So that's a funny answer.
I scooped some loose trash over it though, so it was okay. And it was in the neighbor's yard, so it's all good.
It was in the neighbor's. That's what I want to hear.
I mean, come on, you got to.
Yep. The other thing, what you're saying, your landlord makes you. He wants you to pay for everything that breaks in the house. What about my hopes and dreams? If that's
yeah, pretty good one.
Yeah, and I don't want to pile on to the forehead jokes, but do you know Lavelle Crawford?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
He's darker than me though. He is.
And I don't know. There's a bunch of lighting issues. I don't know. You might. I'm just kidding. Yeah. But I don't think that's a put down.
Camera angle. It's the camera.
Yeah.
Like, look.
I don't think that's a put down. Like, I don't think that's.
No, you're good. You're good.
You're moving to the suburbs for the simple life, but I don't know of any simple life that also has a homeowners association.
Well, that's the whole thing. I have this thing where I was like, when I was young, we were so broke, we had to tow our broken down Ferrari to buy diamonds. So I was kind of starting out on that angle, but I didn't follow up on it, like this whole like privilege thing. And as a black man, playing up privilege would be, I think, a unique angle. We don't usually do that.
That reminds me, I had the hardest during the pandemic. I had the hardest of anyone anywhere. That really cracked me up. That was very funny. That's a
Be
very
something to riff
cathartic
on
joke.
for all of us. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's everyone gets to go. Yeah, it was shitty. And just kind of wash it off themselves. It's great. That was great.
Yeah, that was good.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Keh Dee, do you have anything to say? You've been all quiet.
Sorry, I had a couple of things.
I can barely hear you.
I realized I was on mute there too.
What'd you say?
I said a couple of things, but then I realized that I was on mute.
Oh.
But, and now I forgot what I said. Oh, I was about your dentist. That was just like a shady mechanic kind of thing, right? Like, bring in the car.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The first one. What? That cavity is like my entire life.
No doubt. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you putting up with my craziness.
All good.
All right. Next up, please welcome to the prestigious large ranks tangle. It is Keh Dee.
All right. Well, talking about awkward topics, mine was plantation.
Oh.
Yeah, Keller sent me that one. I was like, yeah, let's get the girl who makes abortion jokes talking plantation. Let's see what we can do with that. We piss off tonight. But yeah, so I don't have a ton on it. It was hard, but I did look up some stuff on plantations, and they specialize in cash crops, right? So yeah, no wonder they were so rich. They were just like growing cash. It's pretty cool. Like literally harvesting money, right? You know that saying, like, money doesn't grow on trees. It's like, well, down south it does, you know. Like maybe that's why the mint julep is actually green, because they just use like a fresh dollar bill to stir it, you know, just roll it up and stir it. Still wet out of the ground. I don't know. It's awful. And I kind of thought too, like when you're like in grade 1, you're like, what do you want to be? And my little boy's like, I want to be a policeman because I want to help people. And it's like, I want to be a fireman because I want to save people. It's like, well, I want to own a plantation because I love plants. It's like, we need to talk to your parents. What else do I have here? Next to nothing. Oh, I did look up some famous plantation owners. They had a lot of weird names, like Ruffin and Thistlewood. It sounds like they knew that they were shady as shit, and they were using pseudonyms, I should say. Yeah, I mean, you have to be hiding something to use a pseudonym, right?
Yeah.
Jester.
I just saw that the Bachelor contestant, the newest Bachelor contestant, she's in some shit right now because some pictures came out that she went to this like old South like plantation party. Apparently they have plantation parties like where you dress up like a Southern belle and I don't know, put collars on black people or something. I have no idea what they do. It sounds terrible, but anyway, so she's one of the finalists in The Bachelor right now, and yeah, guess what race the Bachelor is? He's black, obviously. So yeah, good time for this to come out. I don't think she's gonna win. But yeah, that was it. This was the worst topic I've ever had. Thanks.
Wow.
Topic generator.
Yeah, that's a
You
rough
really
topic.
don't have to make any comments. I will never use any of this material whatsoever.
No, let me just say, as the black guy here, because you know I got to comment first.
I appreciate you enduring that, Mo.
No, absolutely. Look, I have a group of friends that we get extremely blue with each other. Like I have an Asian friend, I have a Muslim friend, you know, I have plenty of white friends, and we get to points where we know we all love each other. So, you know, like bringing up certain jokes about ethnicity and stuff like that, we have to do it in a huddle. because of the sensitivity of other ears that'll hear. But at the same time, you know, like I believe comedy rooms are places to try out whatever you've got, as long as, you know, it's not like hating your heart or anything like that. Of course, it's fair game. So don't worry about that. You know, that being said, plantations is a tough one to work. You know, like if you're black, you can probably get away with it because, you know, we were on the receiving side rather than the giving side. But I'd go for the cotton, for the tobacco, and how they are now today, maybe, you know, like, and how maybe the Industrial Revolution brought about that machinery that used to like chop people's hands off, and maybe like a parody on that, you know, and yeah, I mean, maybe just like Colonel Sanders, like talk about him or any, you know, well-known characters that may be accused of possibly having brought their business out of slavery and now they're trying to cover it up with fried chicken, you know, something like that. You know, because that'll appeal to people who've always suspected that kind of thing, you know.
Colonel Sanders actually married a Canadian, and he donated a whole lot of money to a hospital that's very local to me.
I still think he's an evil
Colonel Sanders wing, and they call it the chicken wing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I still think he's an evil man who profited off of the cotton gin, but I will buy his chicken as long as you guys don't tell anybody else, because his grilled chicken won't give you a heart attack. There you go.
So I took a couple of notes. One of them was, I want to own a plantation because I like to feel entitled. And then maybe going into like, if I had a plantation, and then like just saying some things. Also, I know about the bachelorette thing. And, you know, I thought there was an opportunity there to, when you said, I have no idea what they do there, and then talk about what you would imagine they would do there and make that. Right. I think that could be so funny. It's like, what do they? And then just coming up with really funny scenarios. Yeah, those were just some of the things I thought of.
I do have some reality TV stuff, so I may touch back on the Bachelor stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was an actress from The Office, I think. She was pretty popular. She was about to like host the Grammys or something like that, and they said no, we can't do that anymore too. So, fall from grace is always funny.
I have three things. First off, Mo, you said that as a black guy with plantation, maybe you could get away with that, but I think historically, getting away is not what black people did when plantations are concerned.
Ouch!
Also, soup plantation. Everyone loves soup plantation. As a white person from the north, my only experience with plantations is at the soup plantation, and they have a big menu. And soup is also very hard to pick, it turns out. Also, American money is not made out of paper; it is made out of cotton. So no, it doesn't really grow on a tree. It's really more of a bush.
Nice. Zing.
Sorry.
Granny panties to cover your bush.
I do feel all cold and fucked up after telling about a couple of plantation jokes in a row. I'm sorry, Keh Dee.
I know. I felt dirty all day.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go from least nasty to most nasty. So with the end of your set, you had like you know, the on The Bachelor, there's the girl that did all the stuff. Looks like I know who's gonna be the next Bachelorette, right? Because they have to, like, the loser gets to be the next one, right? Right. What did I have? Plantation parties. That. With the synonyms and stuff. There's no like Jebediah. I don't know Jedediah. It's like a funny name to just shove in there. Right. And then plantation. Plenty of abortions. No coat hanger.
Oh. Roe v. Wade.
Yeah. That's probably the worst shit I have.
That's solid.
Actually, just to add on to The Bachelor, maybe an expansion on the Bachelor concept would be like, if you had a chance as a black man to date, you know, like a Nazi, you know, like any variety of hateful like cultures, like 4 women lined up, which one would you have to pick, kind of thing? You know, just as a zinger on the end of that bachelorette reference. You know, something like that. Cool.
When you said that just now, it made me think about like, hey, what if they had like the Bachelorette, but also you can buy some of them? Like, it's like, like there's a financial factor in the game. Like,
put them up on blocks and let the black man pick for a change. That would be something you can get away with. Yeah, there you go. and black people would like that one.
Here's a fun angle from Jim Music in the comments. I'm so anti-racist, I won't even pick the cotton out of a prescription bottle.
Ouch!
I like that angle. I think that's very funny.
There's other people in this room? Holy shit.
Yeah, we've got 4 audience members. If you'd like to leave notes down in the bottom, we sometimes will bring them up during the discussion section.
Awesome.
So long as it doesn't interfere with the flow of the conversation.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Now, please welcome to the prestigious large rectangle. It's Brooklyn.
Hello. Okay, I can't bring my computer too close. I don't want to disrupt the connection. But my word was funeral.
Oh!
Yeah. I kind of made it like funeral death. But here we go. I have gone through a lot recently, though. And it did have me thinking a lot about life and what our purpose is and whatnot. And I've come to realize that life is overrated. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. 20 minutes into thinking about life, I was picking out a playlist for my funeral. First track as people walk up to my bedazzled casket. She's a super freak, yeah, super freaky, yeah. Followed by AC/DC's Highway to Hell. I actually started to plan my funeral while I was dating a cop. He's still hitting me up all the time, and I'm still trying to find a way to reject him without getting shot. When I would go to my dad with a problem, he used to say, "What's the worst that can happen? You die, and this won't kill ya." I don't know why I made him sound like a creepy director to a porno, but anyways, I'm like, you think dying is the worst that can happen? Because that sounds like the solution to literally all of my problems. Like, what's worse than dying? I don't know. Doing laundry, opening up my Tinder messages, getting my period, having to pay for legitimately anything, or like your leg falling asleep. Have you ever tried to stand up with pins and needles in your leg? For the next 30 seconds of your regrettable life, you're walking around like you just got fucked in the ass by a guy from Black Panther. You know, it sucks. I thought that was pretty fucking hilarious. I don't know why I knew that. Okay.
I was on mute. I left.
Okay. What's worse than dying? Being pregnant. Being pregnant is like baking banana bread in quarantine for like 9 months, and then someone else eats it and gives you COVID. The worst part is that it looks like you're still the one who ate the banana bread. And I wonder why funeral starts with FUN and not SAD. They're not having fun. They're sad, right? Can you imagine if funerals were meant for everyone who's glad they're gone, like dancing around on the grave like they're a bunch of Jews at a bar mitzvah? Hey. And that got me thinking about how amazing it would be if the world glitched and people started doing things differently, like people dancing ballet at a heavy metal concert, just like, ah! I need to work on my screen, but that'll be hilarious if I nail that. Or like if the world glitched and I got my shit together. I'm going through a death and rebirth at the moment, and by that I mean I have to reevaluate my strategy to make bank on OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. Banning explicit content on OnlyFans is kind of like only selling apples at Applebee's.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot I can go with that, but like I just kind of stop with like, yeah, what I have for the Applebee's thing isn't that great yet, but I think I can go into it more. Anyways, that's what I have.
Cool.
Hey.
Awesome. Yes. I like the delivery a lot. The OnlyFans thing definitely is a hot topic, and there's so much you can riff on under that. That was a good point. And you brought up a lot of current things. I forgot what the other one was. It was a recent occurrence before OnlyFans.
Before OnlyFans was ballet at a heavy metal concert.
It was a like a news topic, like kind of. I think.
I started
bread and
planning my
quarantine,
funeral
maybe.
while dating a cop. That seems pretty
Yeah,
prescient.
yeah,
That was really
Yeah.
good.
yeah. Definitely like a police brutality angle to it or something. Maybe
Yeah.
Or
you
is
know,
it the
stop
40%?
resisting. Yeah, the whole
Is it a
stop
40%
resisting.
angle on that? 40% of police are domestic abusers. Is it that? That's an actual statistic.
You could be like,
Oh my god, I
I-
knew my gut was telling me to dump him for a reason.
I think
You
it
could
was
be
a direct
like-
reference to that thing where
you could
there's
be
like
like,
police killer
I'm
wives.
pretty sure if he shoots me, my mom would thank him for his service.
Oh my god.
I loved Bedazzled Casket.
Yeah.
And I love the visual of like Ave Nagila, like but like with like pallbearers. Like
It's like the coffin dance.
yes,
it's not-
exactly like that. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like it's like a fun Jewish version on that. You could do it like a bar mitzvah too, where it's like you've got like a Transformers themed funeral or something.
Yeah, I really liked your banana bread stuff too. That was funny, and I don't know if like sourdough is also like maybe funnier or like I don't know, just maybe sourdough is just a funny word. But yeah, it just reminded me too. You know, like you bake that kid for 9 months, and then you know he comes out, and I just think about women that you know put all that work in, all that effort into having a baby, and then it comes out not looking anything like them. You know what I mean? Like you know. You
It's
wreck
like
your
mailman.
tits, you wreck your badge, and just comes out looking like the fucking kid at the Wendy's counter,
Yeah.
or like your second cousin Greg, or something like that. You know.
I thought of something that's like, what if the world glitched and Mitch McConnell was gay? No, I mean like openly gay, like out there gay.
Like Elton John.
I think Lindsey Graham is a good closeted gay Republican.
Oh yes, yes.
Yes,
reference if
Lindsey
you're looking for a
Graham.
closeted.
You know what? If you
American.
put makeup on him, he'll look like Mimi from that. Whose line is it anyway? Not that show. Yeah, the Drew Carey show. If you put makeup on Lindsey Graham,
Craig
he looked like
Ferguson or Mimi?
no. The Mimi character from the Drew Carey show, not from the Whose Line.
Oh gosh, what was that actress's name?
I don't know, but it was a lady with heavy makeup.
That was the only role she played, I think.
I think so.
Oh,
She did some stuff before that, but nothing. She was like,
Hit up IMDb.
either way, her. Lindsey
Kathy
Graham.
Kinney.
That's right, Kathy something. That's right.
The top video is whatever happened to to Mimi from the Drew Carey show.
Fuck.
Doesn't even call her by name. That's a little sad.
Whatever happened? She collecting millions. It's in syndication. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Doing well. Fuck it.
She lives in a van down by the river.
By Lindsey
Oh
Graham.
man, it's depressing to see what's happened to celebrities. There were like Randy the Macho Man Savage, a bunch of tragedies, and like they find out people are broke years later. So that's always.
I know a
feeling.
DJ that mixes a bunch of stuff. He always mixes Randy Savage in there.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's really good remixes. I don't know. I wanted to say Super Freak and Highway to Hell was hilarious right off the bat. That was really good. I was expecting some suicide by cop at the boyfriend part. The creepy director kind of also sounded like a Jewish rabbi. I don't know if it's too close, but it kind of sounded like it. Yeah, that's all I had.
Awesome, thanks.
All right. So now we move on to the second part of the show where it's just a freestyle round and we work on whatever we've got kicking around that we want to refine. So I'm going to open us up on this section and we're going to do the same rotation again. So I haven't committed any felonies, I'll admit to. If I kill, it's only ever on stage. And if I die, well, that happens on stage too, but that's my own fault. It's like a self-inflicted killing. It's basically a suicide. But did you know that suicide is a felony in 23 different countries? Well, maybe it's not a felony in all the countries, but it's a crime in all of those countries. I mean, whether or not it's a felony or a misdemeanor, in any case, it's still the death sentence. So the severity is clear. You know, there's pretty darn good evidence that gun ownership increases the probability of an individual committing suicide by gun or dying in some sort of gun-related incident. Now, I'm not a statistician, but what I can tell you for sure is that ever since I've bought a reciprocating saw, I have spent a lot more time wondering whether or not something can be cut in half. Is it a crime? Maybe. It depends on what I'm cutting in half. I've thought about sawzalling my neighbor's lawn art. That's a misdemeanor. His lawn art is cheap as fuck. If I cut my neighbor's annoying dog in half, though, that's a felony. What if I cut my trilliums, the provincial flower of Ontario? I had heard that was a crime. No, it's not a crime. It's still mean to the plant. In Ontario, there's such a thing as a government policy that only goes as far as to say, hey, well, don't do that. That's mean. But dear God, trees? Oh, I dare not cut a tree. In just about every region, tree law is its own unique, fucked up, crazy situation. And now, with wood costing as much per pound as a pound of Bitcoin, which is God knows how much. And Bitcoin, by the way, I thought that was exclusively for buying mysterious Asian drug powders and human sex slaves. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still do that. Or you can buy a Frappuccino at Starbucks or go to Home Depot and get some of that really expensive wood. And I keep mentioning the wood, but it's because I've recently had some unexpected household repairs pop up recently. And I'm freaking out at how much wood costs. This is also the reason why I'm talking about crime and been thinking about crime recently. I have not been this traumatized by unexpected wood at the wrong time since middle school. And so, yeah, I am considering turning to a life of crime. Yeah, and I have been Googling felonies. But what can I steal that's as high value as wood? What is this? Like, could I steal metal? No. What is this? The before times? No. Toilet paper had a bit of a bubble, and it's pretty light to carry. I can get away with a lot of toilet paper, but it's bulky. It's bulky. That's a difficult thing to steal. I honestly, and you know what? Honestly, I don't think humanity will ever fuck up toilet paper ever again. I think we panicked and we super reinforced all of the supply lines for toilet paper. I really don't see that being a problem ever again. Also, hand sanitizer. And I'm wondering when the hand sanitizer that doesn't suck is going to come back. Do you remember that? It used to have like a consistent viscosity. It used to have it used to smell like oranges or flowers and shit. And then we just went into like quantity not quantity mode, and we just went with, I think the scent that they were going for was Dive Bar bathroom floor, Either that or the smell profile they're going for was dumpster behind the brewery that I used to have to commute past. But honestly, I'm excited for them to boil down all of that gloopy shit and just get us some good hand sanitizer again. That's what I'm looking forward to, you guys. That's my optimism. That's my set. Is there anything in there worth keeping?
Yeah, I just have two things. It's like one is whenever you're like, yeah, I just want to, saw in half that fucking wood art in my neighbor's yard. I like your style where you're just like, you have a quick tangent where you're just like, but side note on that, so you can add in something like, it would be a service to society, but it's also a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
It's like but that's a misdemeanor. It's a service to society, but it's also a misdemeanor. Something like that. Also, like one thing you can steal is a crypto or Dogecoin or something. It's like the only thing that you can steal or something. I don't know. And that was just like the thing that came to mind. It's like the only thing. But maybe you don't deal with cryptocurrency, you do with kleptocurrency. Yeah, cerebral joke. That's what I'm down to. Anyway, that's
a kleptocurrency. Are you talking about like one of those like pump and dump coin scams?
Yep.
Or
yeah, it's just like you just steal a bunch of shit, and then like 2 days later you can't log into your computer.
Exactly.
Just like ransomware with actual Bitcoin and stuff. Same thing.
I like both.
Yeah.
I took a couple of notes. Well, first of all, I love that your style is so you. I think that's important, and you definitely have a certain way that you say things, and like it's recognizable, the storytelling. A couple of things. One was, you mentioned like the dog, and maybe you could say, cut Bertha in half, but you don't mention it's a dog at first, and then say, my neighbor's an annoying dog. Although I've thought about cutting the owner in half too, or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Another thing is, I just thought, like you said,
I should cut some
I had
misdirects
to
in
fix
half.
my house a lot, which is annoying because I already have enough to fix on myself. That's just something I thought of, and then.
My house has apparently has good bones, but my bones are terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And then now Purell is like lube from the dollar store that smells like the Smirnoff you drank in high school that tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Oh, that's fun. That's so suspiciously specific. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Or you can even, instead of like your neighbor's dog, you'd be like, anyone named Kelsey? It's like, I need to drop some weight. I have a way to do that.
I could
like-
tell us.
I like the idea of bringing the word lube into the discussion about hand sanitizer. There's like, you could definitely riff on that.
I try so hard to come up with clean material.
How about this idea? How
Just go
about this
there.
idea? And tell me if you think this works on premise alone. If I earlier in the set introduce my neighbor by name by saying I was arguing with like Dale next door, and then later in the set it's revealed that Dale is the name of the dog, or whatever the dog's name is. Like I introduce it like I'm arguing, like so that argument still happens, and I still get to tell that story. But then that same name I reuse as it's actually the neighbor's dog's name.
I love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could be like, but he just makes the face at me, or growls at me, or grunts at me, or stuff like that. And then
Yeah. Like I always say hello, and he always just kind of looks at me like, "Ugh."
We're at each other's throats all the time.
I like that.
yeah,
And
one
then-
time he just came and pissed on my leg. Yeah.
I just thought of an addition.
Oh, I like that's a fun angle. Introduce my neighbor's dog before the neighbor's You gotta have fun with that.
So on the hand sanitizer thing too, you can relate like old school hand sanitizer to new school by maybe saying the old school felt like velvety angels, whereas the new school's hand sanitizer burns your hands like jizz from the creature in the Aliens movie.
The terrors of low quality hand sanitizer are I have a lot of I slipped into some of that material at the end because I felt like the shit I had written was doing badly, so I threw in some stuff that
well, those
like
Aliens
hand sanitizer,
creatures,
it's such the viscosity is such a question mark now. Like I'm always so like hesitant when I push it. Like I have no idea what the out velocity is when I'm hitting one of those pumps. And I don't turn down a hand sanitizer pump. I roll the dice every time. Like
I love that. And it reminds me so much about, I just came back from Vietnam this summer where I was living, and we have something called bum guns where it's like and it's like you don't know if
weird flex, but okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're really to like pick and choose your battles. So I think you could have fun with that.
I mean, Brooke, you got to start with explaining what bum guns are, though, because like there's like a wild variety of things that could be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right,
best porn accessory ever.
It squirts out water and it cleans your ass is what it is.
Is it one of those like giant PVC hypodermic squirters?
Do people do that like paintball?
Huh?
Do people do that like paintball? Like, is it just a bunch of people running in a field with bum guns? I don't know. What? Like,
you can't run very far. It can make you feel like you never know how intense it'll be, so you gotta be careful.
Oh, you're talking about like a bidet kind of like
yeah, it's like a whole.
Oh, okay. No. I was thinking of.
Sometimes it'll just like it could like blow.
Yeah.
Like you never know.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it'll like like an uneven, like one part of it will be like a goddamn laser, and then it'll just be kind of spraying off to the other one side. Like
sounds like a fun time if you're like Liberace or something. Come on, but like to me it's a little scary.
You're gonna want to fire. You're gonna want to fire a test round first.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
You're gonna just before you use it, you just put one down range real quick.
All right.
Like
it sounds like a new porn genre.
If it's
it's probably an extant porn genre. Have you seen the internet? Like
probably there. That's why I probably just haven't caught up.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. It's still keeping ahead of me.
Yeah, and mention bum guns. I mean, that might just pique everybody's like interest and curiosity, and you can have fun that a lot.
If you're from a culture that uses the bum gun, it'll really resonate. And God, that gun can feel like it resonates.
That is a funny topic, actually.
But it's also a fun thing to introduce to the bum gun virgins.
Yes, I'm a bum gun virgin. I'm curious, but it's not like I'd want to invest before I knew exactly what I was getting into.
You know how in the olden days, you used to have to like manually control the windshield wipers.
But
same thing, but with bidets.
But hold on.
Like, but with like a yard hose.
Okay.
Now, when you're getting
people deal with, I've seen other people do it on the internet, and
really
I'm curious now. No, I'm joking.
OnlyFans.
When you're
number one customer,
when you're getting one, and you're about to get a sales pitch and a demonstration, how does that work?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you sit there and the other person turns it on?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I've only ever been grandfathered into a bum gun. Like I've never been like, I need an upgrade. I never have I decided I needed like more pressure.
So your family passes it down through the generations, you're saying?
No, I just moved to Southeast Asia and to a place there's just bum guns when I got there, and I was like, hey, perfect.
He keeps it in the family.
This is
I left it there.
My world upside down. I've never heard of that term, and I need to go on Google and investigate this afterwards.
I
Yeah,
had
Go on a
heard
bum gun journey.
when I lived in Vietnam for like 18 months, I feel like I maybe saw like 2 bathrooms without a bum gun, and I was just
Yeah.
like,
Were you bummed out?
No, I didn't call it. See, that's why I was confused at first. Is because we called it something else. We called it the rose hose.
Oh.
Really?
No, I don't know. In truth, we didn't refer to it. It was just something we all shamefully did secretly in a locked room alone.
The apparatus.
Yeah. But I do like rose hose. I think that's quite poetic.
I think you said you never miss an opportunity to use a hand sanitizer. Sorry.
That's one of the reasons.
Okay, yeah, I did have a point on the hand sanitizer joke.
Sorry, are we back? Okay. Oh, are we back? Okay. All right.
I almost
sorry.
forgot it.
I'm sorry. We're pulling back here.
I brought it back. Okay, so like the jizz from Alien, from the dude from Alien, like they spit out acid.
Oh yeah.
So that was the connection.
Oh,
like their
did
jizz
they?
would be extra potent acid. So that's like modern hand sanitizer because it's so alcohol-y and burnish. Okay.
Yeah, like the drip
That's
tray,
what I
like
said.
underneath.
Exactly.
We'll have like a green.
There you go.
like
Okay, sorry about that. I just didn't want to forget that moment.
It's a good
You could just
visual.
be like Satan's jizz, and then most people.
Yeah. Jizz is funny. I mean,
Jizz, yeah.
to an extent.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. It's unanimous.
All right. Moving on.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay.
Okay. So this might be topical. This might be garbage, but let's go. So I figured out why people are so scared of the Delta variant. It's because of math class. It takes us back to the point in school when they stopped using numbers for math and started putting letters. And all of a sudden, some shit happened, and half the class said, "Fuck this! I'm gonna be a stripper," or "I'm just gonna get a calculator." Or back in the day, at least in my days, nobody knew iPhones were coming, so we weren't ready for this. We actually tried to learn math, and I was one of those fuckheads that kind of kept going with math and a little bit more and more and more. So I wanted to let you guys know a couple of things. So once it goes through the Greek alphabet, it keeps going. Once they use up the whole Greek alphabet, they start using the ancient Hebrew alphabet. The Greek alphabet has 24 letters, and the Hebrew alphabet has another 22. So they got a long way to go. Also, there's what I did later on was I continued with finance in university, and over there, Delta gave us all like a pretty big ass beating. Matt, you want to unmute yourself? I don't know if it's you.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. So all our GPAs funnily suffered because Delta had a different term in finance. So delta is basically the proportional change of the underlying asset and the derivative that it's attached to. Now, if that sounds complicated and fucking annoying, it is. And let me tell you, as someone who had aced his finance courses with like 54% average, it gets worse. We all basically had to pass because you can pass. It's all relational. Even the scores in the class are relational. So if you do better than the other people, you get to pass. So I passed with flying colors by helping tutor other people just to make sure they get really shittier grades than me. So a side effect of that happens that, it so happens that eventually they graduate too, and they get a job in Wall Street, and they may or may not have caused the global collapse, but that's not a big deal, that's just minor. I think that's all I have for this.
I like the crypto component that you were talking about. Like you kind of investments, you were going that way. Like Martin Shkreli, always a good topic to bring up how he bought the Wu-Tang album and he was a total douchebag. Bitcoin, that kind of how Dogecoin has no ceiling, so a bunch of people lost a farm on it. That's potentially funny stuff. Maybe starting out with just a simple explanation for the people who wouldn't know it. Like there's a ton of people who don't know anything, and stocks and investments are always a mystery to me too. I hate math. Sorry.
Why do I need to learn about coefficients? It's a moo point.
Fuck math. Sorry. No offense.
I thought you were going to say that people hate delta because people hate change.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's actually really good. I'm just taking it. Yeah, anything else? Cool. All right.
Isn't there a new variant?
There always
there's a hot new variant.
There always is.
They skipped to Zeta now, and I was like, "What the fuck? We were just on Delta. Like, how do you go from D to Z? Like, that's not the fucking alphabet."
This is again all math. Like, let's say the global population has like 10 labs working on a solution. Let's say globally as a species. Technically, every human body is like a lab for COVID to develop. So they have 200 million labs.
Yeah.
So we have 10 at most. Guess who's gonna beat who? We're fucked.
Exactly. It's just gonna keep leveling up like a bad video game. It's like frightening. When you don't have any lives.
It's gonna level up exactly like a bad video game. Things are just gonna start randomly getting weird just to add variety. It's
fucking Donkey Kong. You just can't win because it just keeps going. But don't be afraid. Oh shit! I made everybody afraid. No. I mean, like I have faith in scientists to an extent.
Yeah.
That made people afraid.
Yes.
It's just like they legalized weed though, so that's what's kind of fucking us up too, though, with the scientists smoking weed.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
This
just
has got to get really bad for your country, for your whole country to start going, I think we should start selling drugs.
Yeah. Well, but the scientists are smoking weed, so the studies come along a lot slower now. Yeah, they come along and they forget stuff.
Ours is not better. Like in Canada, apparently there's like a mushroom shop without it being legal, but it still operates somehow.
Dude, BC just smells like the back of your drug dealing uncle's car now. It's like on every street corner here. I mean, and look, I don't have any problems with weed. I did it all throughout college, but then I took up government work and they made me do one piss test. So I'm like, shit, for the past 10 years, I've been straight edged. I've been like squeaky clean like the fucking beaver.
Is that
what's that?
Is that why you quit?
Well, no, I quit because it was slowing me down, and when people insulted me, I wasn't able to come up with witty comebacks as fast. So, I had to sharpen my game. So I do
absolutely critical in Canadian politics.
Yeah, basically, can't be let
or throw their food.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw their lunch in the garbage.
Exactly.
All right. Next up, please welcome to the large, prestigious rectangle. It's Maddie's Way Comedy.
Thank you. Now the bad audio starts. Yeah, I'm a really honest guy, and it's a problem. It's actually the worst kind you can be because I don't pick up on social cues, so I don't know when I'm an asshole. Like I don't know. Like, I see a conversation and, I feel a little weird, so I slip in and I don't know when to pull out. Like, I'm just in it with no filter, letting everything out from inside. And we just both walk away sad and taking pills. It's a sex joke about how I don't have friends. Sorry, was that a little too deep for you guys?
No.
It's okay. This is a little rough. I just wrote it. Very rough. Yeah. Do you ever think that a penis feels bad afterwards? It's like, you know, things were getting. It got angry. It spilled out some passive aggressive pre-com, and you know, like I get, we've all been there, but you guys, a virgin, but you know, I think it's a lot of pressure. You know, like here the moment, some veins are popping out, angry, and then it's done. Regret immediately starts. It's like, oh no, oh God, oh okay, okay, I feel like a dick. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm real sorry. I swear, I'm a real softie. And the vagina's just like, you need therapy. I don't do this to you. I let out my stuff once a month, okay? Just get your shit together or you're gonna end up with an asshole. Anyway, that's my time.
Oh man.
I think it would be extremely cool if you like invented this wild character, did all the attributes that you were putting without explaining that it is a penis, and then at the end make the fact that it is your penis as the punchline. You know, like
yeah.
an angry gorilla rampaging the town, spitting in everybody's face. Some, you know, just some wild ass story, and just like embellish the fuck out of it, you know? And then be like, yeah, I wrestle with him every fucking day and I can't stand him, my penis. You know, something fun, you know, punchline at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love that. I also thought about, you know, you said like the vagina saying you need therapy. I was like, I take a pounding from you every day. Like you need therapy or something like that. And then, you know, you were talking about being an honest guy and like going in no filter. I think it'd be funny at the end if you were like, no, I'm totally joking. I'm a virgin or something like that. And yeah, going into like if dicks had a personality, mine would be. But I actually like Mo's idea better of just at the very end saying that it is about your dick when we didn't really know this whole time.
Yeah, I meant to also include it.
Trust me, I've been there too. Back when I was 14, like you. Ooh, in your face for that head joke.
It's all right. I meant to include it too. I guess I just went on a tangent with the whole sex thing, but
That was funny.
It's been like a thought in my mind. I've been trying to formulate into a joke, but it's just like I feel like honesty isn't like something you should look up to. It's like, you know, it's not a virtue. It just means you don't give a fuck about how they feel. But if you lie to someone, you care about like how that might affect them. It might sound a little too much like Patrice O'Neal's bit about like how cheating really is for you. But
there were some parts where there was a lot of really visual stuff coming at me, literally and figuratively, quite quickly. And I think a lot of it, I think some of it, I don't know if you were trying, like a lot of it, like it was just like a wash. And I think some of it, like, I think like all of a sudden I like realized halfway through that I was like in the middle of a dialogue between the penis and the vagina, it seemed. And like there was like, were they I think were they characters and like with like opinions? I think that what was happening and when, I think if you threaded it kind of together, a lot of those things were funny, but like, and also I think you kind of my favorite line was, "Hey, is your penis ever bad afterwards?" Like with like a huge gap. I didn't realize you were still talking about. I didn't. There was a lot of things in there that either need a lot more or a lot less clarity to be their funniest.
Oh, okay. So, did you actually hear me though? I said like, do you ever think your penis feels bad afterwards? Or,
I feel pretty. I like how I feel.
Or I guess just like it feels
But
bad
after
after
what?
doing the deed.
I feel great
Was it
usually.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty
usually
good.
sleeping. I'm old. Oh, the ladies do not look happy with me. They look mad at me. I mean, I usually feel happy asleep, and yes, I'm an asshole for that. But I killed the room. Thank you. But what I'm saying though is, I remember the monologue about penises and assholes and dicks just want to fuck everybody from Team America World Police. And that was kind of an epic thing that you could tap into for your delivery angle. You got to be super confident and you got to just roll through it with confidence, because the moment you pause on that, the crowd is going to see through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That is that speech is delivered with extreme clarity and confidence.
Exactly.
I just had a couple of tags. You were talking about taking pills, right? After, so you can, well, the different organs take different pills, right? I take the blue pill. She takes the morning after pill. Again, it will depend on what Jester said on how you're going to structure the two things, if that works.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really touch up on it, but it's like more just like I take a lot of psychiatric medicine for like depression and shit. So it's like
I was originally gonna write Xanax. Honestly, I did, and then I was like, well, Pfizer, like the OG Pfizer blue pill, is more relevant to that, so maybe.
You're too young to talk about Viagra, though. You're too young.
That's that's the exact point, right? At first, I found Xanax because it also fits the generation and the culture, like the music, at least.
Unless you say you stole one from your grandpa and tried it out, that would be pretty.
It has
funny.
a chilling effect on libido, though, doesn't it?
I mean, like most people just know it's boner juice. It's like, so if you like stole the Viagra from your grandpa and then you were stuck by yourself and you had to figure out how to, like the boner getting stuck in the weight, the guy who got it stuck in the weight that one time, that was freaking hilarious.
And then you did the Mentos challenge, and then it didn't come out the other way.
No, it was this guy who like took like 3 Viagra and he stuck his junk in a hole of a like the weights that you put on the bars.
What, like, so dude like Play-Doh Fun Factory himself?
Yeah, and then he had to like walk to the hospital with his junk in the hole of that huge ass weight.
Oh my god.
And they must have used like butter or something to get it off. I don't know. Like that's a whole riff in itself.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
because he has to walk. He can't wear pants on this.
It happened like 20 years ago. No, he was just screwing around in the gym, and he took some Viagra and got stuck in a barbell.
He's screwing around with the gym.
Viagra.
There you go. Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
There you go.
I sang that as a kid.
Yeah.
Also, you had a line where you said, "I'm a real softie," but just before and after. But I don't know.
Was that line supposed to be encouraging?
Well, I don't.
Yeah,
I just thought in when he was saying it, it would have flowed just immediately back.
Yeah. I meant like if you get to know me, I'm a real softie. I'm sorry.
Okay. I liked the line.
After you get past my hard exterior, you'll find out I'm really soft inside or whatever. Like, I don't know. Play wordplay. It always works.
That's what I like to hear. All right.
I meant to
Next
keep
up.
it just as that, like, I feel bad afterwards. Oh God, I'm sorry. I feel like a dick. Oh, or something like that. But I just expanded it, and maybe I did that too much.
Oh, it's such a dickhead. I don't know. Like dickhead schools.
Yeah. Yeah, get creative with it.
Maybe he's getting too creative with it. Maybe that's why his dick hurts afterwards. Anyways, it's Mo.
This is more.
Oh boy. Okay, so this is scratch round 2. I kind of did it before, but one of the stories I didn't touch on is Enrique Tarrio, the like leader of the Proud Boys. And I don't get this because they're like, supposed to be like the #1 racist hate group in all of America, but the guy is like half black. And like today he got sentenced to like 5 months for burning down the Black Lives Matter flag. And it's just very confusing because, like, #1, why didn't he go in front of the judge and say, black people who commit crimes should get more stiff sentences when he was up there? I mean, it's just bewildering how sometimes people can just mislead themselves. They found out, I think, at one point that Hitler had Jewish blood in him. And if you ask me, I mean, like, they do say Jesus was black. He had feet of burnt brass and hair of lamb's wool, So that to me connotes, some sort of nappiness. And if you look at it, if you do a 23andMe test, it's all bullshit because the guy sent in like DNA from his pet frog, and they told him, he was like, historically a rich slave owner. So, just the world's coming to an end, and there are just several signs of this in the racism we see in this world because people think that we're actually purebred. Like, if you really break down the science of how dogs were bred from the beginning of time, and we, of course, as humans, we're animals, we're not dogs. But why don't people say, I don't want a black dog because it's not going to be able to learn tricks? Why don't people say, I don't want a white dog because I don't want to buy all that mayonnaise every year? You know what I'm saying? It's just like the division in this world really needs to heal, and we all need to be brought together. They say that minorities are becoming the most dominant race, and I don't know how that's going to work because we're never going to fucking get along. I mean, I like pretty much every food in this world, so I'll be cool, but I know, some people who eat at Boston Market regularly, and they don't know what General Tso's chicken is. So we're all fucked. I mean, we're going to have to figure out a way to bridge the gap, and I think it's through sex. And that's all I have for now.
Cool.
Yay.
Thank you. I kept it short.
The one thing I took note of is you said that Jesus was black, but also what I took note on is Jesus is also Jewish. And I think you could play on that a little bit. Like,
I'm afraid of saying Jewish joke. I'm afraid of that. Because I hear like so many people get canceled over it. And I'm just like, I could riff all day about black, but
I don't know if this makes a difference, but as a Jew,
okay.
I think it's okay. As long as you don't I mean,
do you have a card you can print out and give to me with your name on it, giving me permission? Because then I can flash that when I'm up for cancellation.
But I just
I have a card.
In the ass by a guy from Black Panther, So
I mean, but it does. Yeah, I mean, the guy from Black Panther, that was.
But it's basically me insinuating, someone of that race has a big dick type of thing. So it's like you could just play around with like was black, but he's Jewish. So was he like, and then talk about what he might act like? Imagine,
talk about his dick. Me talking about Jesus' dick.
No.
Okay,
no.
Things are really looking good here for Lenny Kravitz, I think.
Like, imagine if you talk about, like, would he be good with his money or bad with his money? Like, you know, or whatever.
I like that.
Talk about that.
Dick was so big they had to cut it off.
Oh my! Well, my parents. My father was actually a Baptist minister, so I had a chip inserted into my brain early on that said, "Tread very lightly, my son," when it comes to religion. But you know, yeah, I mean, I could definitely riff very carefully on that, but I don't go too deep on religion.
Yeah.
I think Jesus probably was good with money, but he would get frustrated and just flip the tables.
Yeah.
No, he would probably be like, if he was good with money, he would just like look at Judas like, what the fuck, dude? You fucking sellout. Like, you could have done way more for that shit. What is wrong with you? That's a bad investment.
Yeah. It was 30 pieces of silver or something, right? Like
32.
I read the abridged version of the Bible. I didn't read the whole thing. The Cliff Notes. I'm a Buddhist, I told you. So
yeah, the only prompt I have is like you were talking about some guy. Well, you were talking about the leader of the Proud Boys and how he's black, but like you know, that's weird. It's like you know, you're half black, but you for some reason hate black people. And there's a lot of people that are like gay, but usually sometimes they're really closeted and they're really like hating gay people. So using that logic, you are really good at lacrosse or something like that. Just like something you hate. It's like yeah, that's the only thing I got. It's just a premise.
Yeah, that's a good reference, cross reference. Yeah.
You were talking about the leader of the Proud Boys. The founder of the Proud Boys started it by mistake, and he's actually the world's creepiest hipster. I don't know if you know who that is. Look, I can't remember. It's one of the guys from Vice, the original founders, but he's just creepy.
Oh,
and then you said that Hitler had Jewish blood in him. He also had it on him and really all around him.
Zing.
That's very funny.
Oh, I couldn't do that joke. You guys go ahead and use it. That's
I can't do that. I cannot do that one.
Maybe not if you're a Muslim, though. Just, you know, like, we want to keep peace in the Middle East.
No, yeah, you can't do that, Matt. You'll get their youth card revoked.
I just, you know, it's all about who's delivering it and how it's delivered. Yeah, and I'm not touching that with your dick, but I like it. Not your dick. I like the joke.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. It's cut. I like both joke.
The Proud Boys leader was quoted as saying, "We've been through the ringer," saying that the Proud Boys have been persecuted, and it's like, no, dude, it's pronounced prosecuted.
They are suffering, though. They are suffering internally. They're a deeply wounded bunch.
I was gonna say something.
When you were talking about the DNA test, like the 23andMe or whatever, it's like, yeah, I sent away for my DNA test, found out I'm purebred, but I accidentally sent in my dog's DNA test by accident.
Stop mine, my dog's DNA test.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm half lab and half whatever.
I did find it was bullshit. Like, this girl I was dating did it, and she was like, "Yeah, we're related." And I'm like, "Well, let's try to make some six-finger babies then." It's not fun.
It's problematic. It's the basic statistical model more than it is like.
Dude, they throw it in a field out in the back and just print out some shit out of their computer.
Use Ancestry.com as a dating site.
Exactly. You should. And just make sure it's just completely different DNA. That way will be COVID.
Yo, it should be like
Bloodlines.
there you go.
Proud Boys Only, and like their version of Grindr.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a sausage party, but you know,
it would. That should be the name.
They're already down with Pride.
Yeah, and it's not proud girls; it's proud boys. You know,
only boys.
Not
only
that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, I'm just saying.
Well, there might be, depending on how young the boys are.
Well, you know, they should join with the Catholic Church. Oh, sorry. No.
There we go.
I'm not doing that either. Woo!
Yeah,
okay,
so
I went there.
Yeah,
Let's
so quick segue. We're gonna bury that children in church thing here, just like they did, and move on to Keh Dee.
Hey. So this is going to be kind of all over the place. I'm just going to try out a couple of new things and try and keep it on track. I'm just reading out the old notebook tonight, old school. So this past year, I became a widow. Yeah. Anyone else's partner get a PS5 or the only PlayStation widow here tonight? Yeah. Never seen the fucking guy ever. But I figure with all that extra gaming, heart disease is definitely on the menu for him, for sure. So I decided to take out some extra insurance policies. Yeah, I just told him that we got a better deal on car insurance. I was like, just sign here, honey. But yeah, if he dies, I'm worth more than Jeff Bezos at this point. I mean, definitely for sure, because after that whole Dick Rocket thing that he sent off, like I'm for sure worth more than Jeff Bezos at this point. Like, seriously, what was with that thing? Like, it's like the equivalent of getting like a giant truck, like, and you for sure have like the penis envy or whatever, right? Same kind of thing. I can just hear like Chandler from Friends being like, like, could you have a smaller dick, right? Like, for sure. But my husband's almost 5 years younger than me, so we fight a lot about who's gonna die first. Right? He's like, well, I'm a man, so it'll probably be me. And I was like, well, I have a heart condition, so it'll probably be me. And he's like, well, I've been smoking since I was 12, so it's definitely going to be me. And I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. Why are we arguing about something that we have no control over? Right? So we made a murder-suicide pact. It's on Saturday, so thanks for joining my last workshop, guys. Means a lot. You guys are the best. But actually, he tried to pull a solo mission on me a little while ago, and his work actually called me and said that he stopped breathing, and I was like, oh hell no. No, you don't. You ain't doing this without me, right? So I was like racing to the hospital, like going like 50 over the speed limit, just like rocking a bowl and texting and driving. I was like, if you're going, you're taking me with you, man. Like we made a pact here, right? But where was I now? Oh yes, but but then I thought about all those extra insurance policies, though, right? And then I'm like, well, what shade of blue is he? Is what part of like not breathing are we here? As I'm like scrambling through my wallet, like looking for my insurance card, like I'm looking for like a winning lottery ticket, right? Like I'm concerned about his life, but I'm also like dreaming about what could become of mine. But he just had a birthday, and I got him weights for his birthday. So apparently weights are the equivalent getting weights for a man are the equivalent of getting a vacuum for a woman for a gift. I only know this because my husband's reaction was eerily similar to my mother's reaction when my father bought her a vacuum for Christmas in '87. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only thing getting sucked that year was the carpet. Which is fucking disturbing because that's about my parents, but I couldn't miss that opportunity. But You guys know how your phone like listens to you and then you start seeing ads like pop up all the time, right? Like I wish your phone would realize that you bought it and then stop like giving you those ads, right? It's like I already bought the fucking weights. Like, okay, you know that I'm not using them. Like you're listening to me. You're obviously watching me. My phone has 5 cameras, so you know I'm not using them. Stop rubbing it in. I don't need to see the ads anymore. Like if you're trying to motivate me, it's not working, right? But I think that was that it. Oh, sorry. Do I have one more second here, Jester? Am I going way over?
No, you can go whatever.
Okay. Actually, I was. We don't have any children. Yeah, we decided it would be much better if we didn't have children because of all our issues. But I recently got diagnosed with ADHD. I never really knew what was wrong with me. Apparently, it was that, maybe. But I've been joining these groups and like doing some research and seeing what like kind of like signs and symptoms I've like missed in 42 fucking years of being misdiagnosed. And one of the major things is that you cannot keep your room clean. To this day, I can't keep my room clean. So I just picture my mom, saying to me now, like, why can't you keep your room clean? It's like, well, seems I have a problem with my brain, Mom. I think the real question is here, why did you do coke when you were pregnant with me? Right? Like, if we're going to point some fingers, like, maybe let's get to the root of the problem. Am I right? But I was dropped on my, I'm kidding. My mom didn't do coke when she was pregnant. She just drank. That's all. And I was dropped on my head actually when I was a baby and I got a concussion, which worked out pretty good for my mom because she had another excuse other than her drinking while she's pregnant. That was wrong with me. So that's it. That's all I had. Like I said, it was a bunch of ramblings tonight.
I liked it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I guess I'll go. There was a few things when you were talking about who dies first and you're going back and forth. Oh, well, you'll die first because I'll die first. And then you say, well, you're already dead to me. Like, I think that could be funny. And then you mentioned his response was similar to your mom's response, getting a vacuum, but then you didn't say what that was. And I think you could have some fun with what the response was.
Okay.
And then if you said, yeah, no, my mom didn't do coke. She did crystal meth.
Right.
that could also be funny as well. So those are my little notes, but I thought it was funny.
I also like the idea of huffing glue, sniffing glue, or something exotic like doing the whippets, or that's a little bit more like abstract rather than meth,
Yep.
and it's less harmful in the mind because nobody knows what the fuck it means, so you can kind of just really run with it,
Matt?
But yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I think you could probably just like fix up the wording a little bit, or not fix up. I mean, like play with. I'm not sure why I said fix up, but
Say fix up like it's lit. Like, do you see what's going on here? They definitely need some work.
Yeah.
It's chicken scratch.
it's like it's like, why don't you clean your room? I don't know. Why weren't you clean when you were pregnant with me?
Perfect. Love it.
But yeah, like I don't. Was it you arguing with someone else over who was gonna die first, or was it 2 guys arguing over it?
Me and my husband.
Oh, okay. It could be like, God, he's so competitive. This is why men die first. Or I don't know what happened. Honestly, like I don't know why he was in the hospital. It sounds like it was a real story. Maybe, but you could.
It was. He did try and die on me. It's true. It happened a few weeks ago. His throat started to close. He had a bad reaction or something.
Yeah, you could probably have try to find something about it that is ridiculous. Like, if that is healing in any way, that's just like he had a nut allergy, he looked at a Snickers, it's just like, you know what, fucking ending it. Like,
fuck that bitch, I'm just going.
And then also,
I got $1.50 in my pocket. Let's do this.
And then also be sure to never kill your husband, because then the news will play all of this clips. You know, it's like rappers
Right.
drug dealing. But I really like when you brought up the Jeff Bezos penis rocket, because you know, like the guy from Virgin did it as well. So maybe you could do a wordplay about the penis ramming through the atmosphere, and that was the first time Virgin penetrated the atmosphere as well. You know, some play on that. I've been thinking about that a little bit myself, but
Yeah.
you know, and then say Elon Musk has never managed to score. You know,
The Virgin guy popped his cherry first.
exactly. Yeah. Elon Musk just kept on going flat, or you know, collapsing or whatever. I don't know, something like that. And they're all
Also-
going to hate you.
We were actually kind of joking when I was first got ADD, or I've had it for fucking ever, obviously, but first got diagnosed. And he's like, you know, what if you got diagnosed when you were a child? He's like, you'd be fucking Elon Musk right now. Right?
Exactly.
I was like, oh man, all these missed opportunities.
It was a great list of topics. It was a great journey. So you definitely had a good flow through it, I must say.
Yeah, this is Jeff Bezos' his first time in space, and I'm really surprised he didn't blow his load.
Yeah.
So a couple of other Jeff Bezos friends-related jokes. When Jeff Bezos didn't really leave Earth, but they were just on a break, which is some awesome shit. But also very much when Jeff Bezos went to space, it was also very much like an episode of Friends, because there were no black people.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
I
I got a groan. Okay, I'll take it.
As the black man in the room, I will give that a pass. You have my blessing. Peace be with you. If you guys need me to send, you know, to review any of your black material, feel free to forward it.
Black Pope, Black Pope.
So I had a couple of tags, because at first you said that he's dead because he's been playing the video game, or he bought the thing, but has his thumb game improved?
Right.
And then when you said,
Were you asking genuinely, Eleanor? Do you want to know?
I don't need to know at all. I don't need to know at all.
How's his fingering?
Exactly.
PowerPoint presentation. I don't know. Something.
Yep. Does he button mash a lot?
Gotta mash the button.
Okay, Mario Cuomo.
Okay.
Move on.
Okay. And then you said, what shade of blue is he? And in my mind, I heard, what shade of glue is he? And I was like, oh, that was like, for me, that was really funny, but I don't know if it translated that bad. And then the male equivalent of buying weights, I think it's also like the equivalent of buying you a Zumba class. I don't know if it makes sense. You know, like you need to get bigger, you need to get smaller, or something like that. You know,
Or Peloton.
Yeah. Exactly. Peloton.
You each get each other a Peloton. You need to get bigger. You need to get smaller.
Exactly.
Well, and I had just written that, like, today we were outside, like, barbecuing. I, like, ran inside. I'm like, I'm just going to write something down real quick. And then I came outside and I told my husband that. And he was like, but I asked for the weights. I like them. I was like,
That's a good gift.
awesome. Thank you, guys.
That was good.
Good stuff.
Now, rounding us off, our final act of the night, the de facto headliner tonight, Brooklyn.
Headliner, and I have like nothing for this. It is getting late though, so I just want some feedback on my word for the next workshop. Like any ideas you guys have for the word mannequin. So I just got the word today. So all I really have, I just wrote down a couple of things. It's like 2 seconds. But one of the things I wrote is like, I want a boyfriend, but I'm at the point where I think a mannequin is actually my best option. You know, they're loyal as fuck and they're great listeners. The only problem I see is that they'd always be hard, just not in the right places. But you guys, I love dick jokes. I love dick jokes because they're already funny. Like, they look like worms with hipster hats, right? And it's like, depending on the spirituality of the hipsters, some of them wear turtlenecks. And then, like, kind of going into that, I thought would be really funny. And another thing I wrote was, I've been working out a lot more, and I'm really proud of myself. Now I'm like the Great Value brand of a botched mannequin. Progress, not perfection. I think I want to be a mannequin for Halloween this year, so I don't have to fucking talk to anyone. Especially here in LA, girls are like, oh my God, Mercury is doing Renegades again. I think that's a valid excuse for me not to be vegan for the day. That's a self-impersonation. That girl. I already have to deal with myself. I don't need more of me. I'm enough. So that's kind of what I have so far. But if you guys have any ideas or critiques on that, or ideas of what else in terms of mannequin I can talk about, I'm all open for it.
I think there's a lot of ways to dress up that mannequin material.
I think that you should, like, with Zoom comedy, we're not going to be used to, like, being able to leave the room while someone is talking to us. So, like, I think that, you know, because normally we can just slap a weird picture of us or a meme or something on our screens and then just, like, jerk off in the corner or something. But, like, we can't do that anymore. So, you know, this is stupid. I'm just thinking of, like, just having a weird mannequin or something. Maybe have
like
that
an
office
life decoy.
Yeah. It's like a wax figurine or something.
A Ken doll. Just put it close up to the camera so it looks huge. Like, just the crotch, just like the crotch down showing, I guess.
No, I mean, like, with Zoom, it's just like, we're not going to be able to go back to society because we're so used to just doing that. But
when my uncle said that his new girlfriend was a real doll, I didn't expect it to be a real doll.
Real dolls are funny as shit. Like, if you bring the real doll into the mix, like, just like the whole, like, sex toy industry is extremely disappointing. We thought, like, they would have innovated some new shit by now. So, like,
I think sex doll is a close enough tangent to the mannequin.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like combining it. Yeah. Like, what would happen if a mannequin and a sex doll got married?
a sex doll is just like a mannequin with that. Okay.
It would still be disappointed with the mannequin.
With the rubber part.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to compare.
The weird thing is that like a mannequin store or a sex doll store must kind of just look like a clothing store, but without any clothes in it.
Yeah.
With all the mannequins there.
Wait, what do you guys think about, like, a sex doll as a mannequin that's acceptable to fuck? Is that, like, funny, or...
Yeah, or, like, you know, something like you, a sex doll is a mannequin that you aren't embarrassed to fuck. Or something like that. Or that's not embarrassing to fuck.
No, that you're supposed to fuck.
A self-cleaning sex doll.
I think it's a mannequin with a vagina.
In the dryer.
Yeah, I was thinking something along the lines of, like, if a mannequin is like a sex doll that is a DJ and you wake up feeling terrible the next day or some shit. Or, like, they're the frat boys of the... I'm just gonna shut up.
Maybe a store could save a lot of money. by buying a bunch of blow up sex dolls instead of mannequins.
She's gone.
Yeah. Well then this is not for my benefit.
And then you could be like, the mannequin had eyes like a dog.
Thank God you're back. You left, and like now everyone was suddenly like, Anna, we don't want to talk about sex dolls anymore.
You know, you
But
could be
it's
like,
got to be uncut, though, right? Right? Like, when you said the hard thing, I like just before you said that, I was like, but it's got to be hard, right? It's always hard. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I like that. But yeah, and then just like the whole like the mound thing, like they have no right. I'm still looking for that uncut mannequin, right? One that actually has a penis.
Yeah.
or you could get attachments, you know, and talk about those, or the fact that it has eyes like a shark and it just stares into nothingness all day, and you want emotional engagement from it, so you yell at it and you slap it, but it does nothing different, just like a man.
Have you seen those Old Navy mannequins that have like the gigantic ghoulish like Joker smiles? They're like They have like these big fucking like way too happy like triangle smiles. They're I don't know. They haunt my dreams.
I drive around with bodies in my trunk. I have a mannequin rental company.
I've never been to Old Navy.
With mannequin where I can like, you know, I want a mannequin as a boyfriend, but then I'm like, yeah, but I'm looking for my Christian Grey, and and like something like I don't think a mannequin's more like I don't know. There's a lot I could do with that.
The strong silent type. So probably a polycarbonate build.
What are those things that toilets are made of?
Porcelain?
Porcelain. Yeah, you could do like instead of gray, switch it with porcelain.
Or like instead of Christian Grey, it's something off-white, or like
Yeah.
Christian beige.
Christian beige.
But how is it gonna? How would a mannequin torture people though?
Christian beige.
How would a mannequin have a sex torture room though? Like theoretically, if you
just
you know
its main move is making you wait for it.
You don't know mannequin culture enough to make a decision like this.
Yeah, you want to have a relationship with a mannequin, but it takes way too much patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know if they're kinky, dude. Like, you can't assume that they don't have a red room.
And you can never read what's on his
rooms.
mind. You can never read what's on his mind.
Although,
There
okay,
you
I
go.
will say, I'm really trying to make more clean material, like family-friendly, funny material. It just doesn't come out of me. It's really hard for me to take things in a PG direction. Is there any mannequin PG things you can think of?
Okay.
I mean,
When you're looking for a mannequin for the discount clothes, there's going to be a lot of red flags
Wait, I don't know if I get that.
on the clothes. Like that's how you indicate that there's a sale on the clothes with little red flags.
Oh,
Red
I don't know.
Red tags.
Red tags. Yeah.
The head keeps falling off. You know, that's always heads falling off is always funny.
I have a few that
for some
they're
reason,
not that
death is more acceptable than sex. In America, like families will let their kids listen to like decapitations, but not like hardcore like you know, anything with boobs or something. No, but like we can. You get what I mean, though. It's just like you know, you can explore the idea of death or whatever. It's just like, yeah, well, I would like to also date something that's dead inside, or whatever. And like, you know, for some reason in America, that's fine with kids. We're okay with violence and stuff like that. But it's just like sex. It's like, oh no.
Yeah,
Kids are more
we have a lot in common. We're both empty inside.
Yeah, a mannequin. Seeing what what the clothing looks like on a mannequin is useful for how it'll be like on me. I mean, sure, me and the mannequin are totally different sizes, but we're both equally dead inside.
I love that.
you can go like, because you started off with saying like, oh, I've been thinking a lot about mannequins and stuff like that. So I've been thinking a lot about mannequins. I've been aching for a man. I can, like, if you had the relationship, could be like, I dress him up like I want to. He never resists my cuddling. He's always down posing for my selfies.
Always awake, always ready
Always
in
awake.
an action. Always ready for action. You know, I don't know.
Putting clothes on a mannequin is kind of like dressing a toddler who won't cooperate because they're like, no, I'm just gonna keep my arms playful. Like, you know, and you have to like, okay, fine, you can put your jumper on, like, you know.
Yeah, and
that's kind of a thing.
You buy a
there's
mannequin. To add on to what you're saying, just you buy a mannequin with multiple arms and legs, so you can change the poses.
If you've ever had to change the clothes on a mannequin, there's also that moment where, like, the store's probably already closed at that point, but you've stripped it naked and now you feel weird. And like, there's always like, I'm like, just put, like, I'll just throw something on them or something, like, just for their decency. Like, it's like a thing. Like, I don't know, it is a thing. Have y'all seen Westworld?
I tried to watch it. It was a little too deep of a story for me to really. I'm the same guy who skipped Game of Thrones too, just because it was too much.
There's some interesting philosophical ideas of this is a thing, but it is perfectly human shaped, and it is being spookily still right now, and it could be turned, like, there's I don't know.
I feel the same way about my
That's
real
a fun
doll.
show.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a real doll. Not that you know about. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a real doll. I don't. What? Leave me alone. Anyway, I don't. Seriously, I don't. But anyway, yeah.
Should just do some weird, like, Kaufman shit where you just stand ultra still for 3 to 5 minutes. Like, my topic, guys, my topic tonight is mannequins.
Wait, did he drop out?
I was just kind of seeing how long it would. I was just kind of seeing how long it would be funny for him. What would happen? I was still. I don't know. Anyways,
thank you guys.
Yeah,
that's it for the workshop tonight. That's a good one. Good crowd tonight.
Very fun. Very fun. This was my first one. So
cool.
You guys are doing great. I love it. I'm moving next week, but I'll probably pick up after that.
Sweet.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.